Hello and welcome to my channel, Soul Dive Tarot. Today's reading is what are you moving towards right now? What changes are coming up for you? So anything that you are transitioning into right now. So the reading will be looking at first, what are you leaving behind? What are you moving away from? And what are you moving towards? So this is a good reading for anyone who wants to know what lies ahead in the immediate future, any changes ahead for you, and where are you at now. This could be in a project or in your spiritual development or just whatever you are inquiring right now. This reading will show you the energy surrounding the situation you are in now and also what lies ahead just in the immediate future. So we have 3 piles here. This is pile 1 with the heart card and the rose quartz crystal. This is pile 2 with the temple card and the amethyst crystal. And this is pile 3 with the gem card and the black tourmaline crystal. So you can pause the video if you need to, take as much time as you need to choose which pile you feel strongly drawn to. Please use your intuition. Don't just go by colors that you like. And this will ensure that you get an accurate reading. There will be an energy reading at the beginning of each pile for further confirmation that this is your pile. The timestamps for each pile will be in the description box below, and I'll see you in your reading. Bye! Hello pile 1, welcome to your reading. Today's question is, what are you moving towards right now? So this may be changes that are coming up for you and things like that. We are going to look at what are you leaving behind, what are you moving away from, and what are you transitioning to? So what are you moving towards, and what is entering your life right now? So this reading will be looking at any changes that lie ahead for you, anything that's ahead for you in whichever path that you are on right now. This could be a project, this could be your spiritual development, or this could just be where you are now in life and just where you are headed. So this reading is for those of you who feel like you are in a transition period and something new is coming up for you. So today we are going to be doing something a little bit different. I have these 2 cards here for your energy. So if you chose the heart card and the rose quartz crystal, this is your reading, pile 1. And these 2 cards here are going to be your energy. So you know that this is your pile. So we have the heart card and we have Aletheia, which is the truth card. Okay, your energy is very gentle, calming, and you appear to be someone who is very calming and authentic to be around. So people often feel like they can open up to you because there is something so open about your energy, and the compassionate, creative, and beautiful too. So I think that you are a person who is very much in touch with their emotions, and you speak from your heart, and that inspires others to open up and be authentic too. So there's something very beautiful, gentle, authentic about you. You're also very just, like you're very fair. I'm seeing that you like when everyone in a group is included or everyone's voice is heard, because not only do you express your truth, you inspire others to express their truth, and you encourage that. You create this safe space. So I think you're very calming to be around. You feel very safe, very open and compassionate. So you're a very open and compassionate person, very authentic. And well, if that resonates, then this is your reading. So I will be getting out some I Ching cards from the Visionary I Ching Oracle cards. And these cards will be showing us exactly what changes these are that you are moving into. So one card will be where you are now, and the next card will be where you are moving towards. So let's see. You have difficulty at the beginning. And temporary obstacles. So after reflecting on these cards and the changing lines between them, I think that in your situation right now that you are in, I think you have to practice surrender, and this will help you in future situations. There is something that you need to admit that you don't know enough about, and that you need help from others. So there is strong indications in these cards that you need to ask for help. Maybe you've been doing everything on your own, or you are not admitting that you are as inexperienced as you think as you are. You are not admitting that to yourself. And these cards are saying that you're leaving behind something that feels like a little difficulty, but it may grow into bigger obstacles later on. But you must know that these obstacles are something that you can move. They're something that you can move around. They're not that serious, but to ease the effects of these obstacles, you probably have to start asking for advice and admitting that there are things that you don't know. So, I mean, in your energy cards, I did see that people ask you for advice. They feel comfortable opening up to you. But do you feel comfortable opening up to them? That's another thing that you need to practice right now. So you may be experiencing some sort of difficulties with the beginning of a project or a relationship. And just know that these difficulties, if you continue without help, or if you try to push through rather than try to move around these obstacles. You know, it might become a bigger pain later on. So this reading is really a little bit of a warning to you that you should seek help and guidance, and you should also, when looking at the changing lines, I saw that you should also give up when you need to. So don't try to push through something. Know that it's when it's a losing battle and just step aside. So I'm not sure what situation this is. I will be getting out more cards, but either it's the beginning of a project or a relationship, and you need to know that how things are at the beginning might plant seeds for what's to come later. So it might show you where this thing is headed, this project or this job. So any difficulties you're experiencing right now because of the changing card that you got, it looks like these difficulties are actually pointing you towards things that you should reflect on. These are things that you should turn inwards and reflect on before you keep going down this route and ending up in more difficult situations. This doesn't look very serious. It just looks a little bit just challenging, you know. It looks challenging, and it looks like this would happen if you don't reflect or ask for help, or things like if you don't give up when you need to, or if you don't give in. So there's something about giving in and just being more accepting of your situation. So maybe there is something that you're not admitting. You're not admitting that you are maybe less qualified, or you have less experience than you think you do in some area that you are inquiring about, or you're not seeing the situation clearly. You're thinking, this is not a big deal, I'll just ignore it, or I'll just push through. You're trying to control the situation. You're not seeing the situation clearly, that there are things beyond your control. There are things that you can't control right now. And pushing through may not be the right advice, or staying strong. Maybe you need to move around these obstacles, or you need to take a break from it, or retract, like move away from this situation. So this is an interesting reading. I feel like this is actually more like Spirit giving you advice, and Spirit wants to clear up where you are now and what you're not seeing properly, and where you may be headed. Actually, it doesn't look fully set in stone now where you are headed, but if this continues, you may be headed with some, well, maybe either annoying delays or just some challenging situation. It doesn't look too big, but you may be hit with temporary obstacles. They are temporary, they're not serious, but you'll keep meeting delays if you push through with this that you are inquiring about. So maybe you think that, oh, it's just difficult now, but when things change and I move forward in this project or relationship, it will be all right. But it doesn't look like the challenges will stop. So that's where you are headed, and I think Spirit's giving you advice on something that you need to see clearly, which is interesting. You got the Truth card for your energy. Yeah, that's very interesting. Maybe it's you that needs to embrace the truth. Maybe you've been ignoring your intuition, but you usually have a strong intuition though. But in these cards are saying that you may be ignoring your intuition a little bit and your gut feeling. So I'm going to be pulling out some Moonology cards. So one card for where you are now and one card for where you are moving towards. Let's get a card for pile 1, where they are now. You have show the world the real you. Full moon in Aquarius. Wow, interesting. Alright, let's get one for where you are headed. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. And then I am going to get some more cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. So where you are now. Past, present, and future. Interesting. I might have to move these aside. And where you are headed. Forgiveness. I think for a lot of you, you are inquiring about relationship, now that I've seen all the cards. But that doesn't have to be true. Like, this could still be a reading if you are inquiring about something else. Like, this could just mean balancing things, balancing give or take, not in a relationship, but in work relationships or something like that. Whatever situation this applies to. Yeah, it's hard to not interpret these in the situation of a relationship, because it appears that where you are now, you're actually not allowing yourself to be yourself more. You're not expressing your authentic self to someone or in a certain situation. And I'm not sure if this is due to fear, but this is causing difficulties. And it's better to be yourself now and express yourself now. So I think something interesting about your reading is, I think usually you are open. Usually you are very intuitive, but right now you are stuck in your head a little bit. So this is causing difficulties, because if, for example, you're inquiring about a relationship, you are overthinking quite a bit of things. You are being too critical or rationalizing the situation, or even rationalizing like yourself. So not allowing yourself to be authentic and be yourself. And maybe this is what's causing the difficulties, because with past, present, and future, you need to integrate your past, present, and future from a non-critical lens. So you need to step away from being so detached and allow your heart to open up, because this closing off of your heart, and it's usually, and I think it's because you don't know what's coming up. You don't know whether it's safe to open your heart up. You don't know whether this thing will turn out all right. So I am definitely seeing strong indications that this is about a relationship, because if so, these next two cards of where you're headed, with the full moon in Libra and the forgiveness card, I am seeing that there's got to be like an opening up of your heart, not just yours, but someone else's or the other party involved in this situation. Both of you have to open up your heart and let go of criticisms. The forgiveness card is a very powerful card of really letting go of criticisms and right or wrong, and that's a huge theme throughout your reading, actually. So these cards definitely gave me more of an impression of what's going on. You need to release from your ego, so who you're trying to be. You're trying to be strong, or you're trying to force yourself into something that you're not. And it is causing tensions in this situation. It's causing quite a bit of tensions. And that's why I do believe that you have possible futures, actually. So if you continue doing this, you will experience obstacles. However, if you apply the advice of this reading, the situation will turn out differently. It will turn out very, very favorable to you. That's what's interesting about your reading. It's actually, I feel like Spirit wants to give you advice so that you don't end up in a more difficult situation. So that's what's very interesting about your reading. You needed to be given more advice, which is interesting because I was going to get advice cards now, but it appears your entire reading is about that. You're not moving into something definite. It's all dependent on how you act now. So if you are able to ask for help when usually you're trying to be strong, you're trying to not ask for help, if you are able to open your heart up a little bit more, if you are able to be yourself a little bit more, these things are going to help your situation a lot. If you are able to be less critical of yourself or maybe even others in this situation, that is going to help you a lot. And deep down, you're a very intuitive person. I am definitely seeing that. Deep down, you are very intuitive and very sensitive, or very much in touch with your emotions. So right now, I feel like you are not acting like how your true inner self is. And this can cause misunderstandings with other people. So once you start opening yourself up, difficulties will, you will not experience difficulties wherever you are moving towards right now. And I think deep down you are someone who loves justice and truth. And maybe that's what annoys you actually in this situation. Perhaps it's not fair or something. It's just not just. And it's making you close up. But you have a huge potential to open your heart up and to be open to truth. But to be open to truth, you have to start opening up to your own truth first. There's a lot of advice here to look within yourself, to ask for help, to admit that you don't know much about a certain situation. Ask for help from someone who is who has more experience. So yeah, that's your reading. I should get more tarot cards on where you are now and where you are headed. So I did want to get advice, but there's already a lot of advice here. So we'll see what comes up. We'll see what comes up for where you are now and where you are headed. So can I get some cards? The Ace of Cups. Yeah, I did mention some creativity within you earlier. And we have the Two of Cups. Yeah. So, two ways this can go. Where you are now, you're in a stage where you desperately need to follow this advice and connect with either your creativity right now, your self-expression. It could go that way. It could also go the other way. If you're inquiring about a relationship, you need to remind yourself of why you two started this relationship. So why you both started this relationship. You need to think of more pleasant memories. So don't think of the critical, negative messages or thoughts or times in the past. I think you need to start focusing on the positives, and this will help your situation a lot, because the Ace of Cups and the Two of Cups, yeah, Two of Cups is about combining opposites. So this is a situation where you need to really let go of what you thought you wanted, what you thought you, even what you thought you needed. Let go of these things and return to a state of openness, I think. Yeah, and let's see what cards you get or where you're headed. Some tarot cards. Where are you headed? You have the Seven of Wands. Yeah, it looks like it's not going to be entirely easy for you for where you are headed now. You have the Ten of Wands, yeah. I mean, it's something that you can definitely persist through and move forward with, but there is some difficulties that lie ahead. And these are things that I feel like you can ease these difficulties through applying the advice in this reading. However, there are still difficulties ahead for you. Oh, let me just move these aside. Okay, hopefully that's better. Sorry about that, pile one. But back to your reading. This is definitely not something. These are definitely things that you can handle. So definitely don't. No stress, but there is some difficulties ahead, and I'm not sure. You needed to be warned about this from Spirit. I don't often get like a reading like this, but this is definitely something that you can handle though. But I am feeling like things will get a bit hectic where you are headed right now. So things will get a little bit hectic, busy, and yeah, things will get a little bit exhausting, tiring. Yeah, I can definitely see that for you. So where you are now is much more, well, it's less eventful and much more peaceful than where you're headed now. It will get quite eventful, hectic, busy, and yeah, there may be a few challenges ahead. Once again, this is nothing that you can't handle, but definitely there's going to be some challenges ahead. Okay, pile one, this is all I'm seeing for you. I hope this reading cleared up things for you as to where you are now and where you are headed. And I'm wishing you the best of luck in this situation. If you enjoyed your reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate the support. If you would like to book a personal reading with me, the link will be in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye. Hello, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the Temple card and the Amethyst crystal, this is your reading. So today's reading is, what are you moving towards right now? So what changes are coming up for you? We're going to be looking at, what are you leaving behind and what are you moving away from, so right now, and then what are you moving towards, what is entering into your life. We're going to be looking at both aspects. So this is a reading if you want to know what lies ahead. You can feel changes coming, you can feel a transition period, and you can see where you are at right now in a project, in your spiritual development, or in whatever situation you're inquiring about. So where you are right now and what is coming up for you. I'm going to do a little bit of a reading on your energy to see if this is your reading. So you got the Temple card and the riddle for the cards for your energy. So for your energy, I'm definitely seeing that you are very introverted. You may even be a little private, a little bit mysterious. You spend a lot of time alone. You may be someone who is interested in nature or even spiritual practices as well. So yeah, you're someone who's very introverted. You spend a lot of time alone. You need a lot of time alone. And yeah, I think that's the main things that I'm getting from your energy. I'll definitely read some more as we continue with the reading. So the main portion of your reading is going to be the Visionary I Ching Oracle cards. I'm going to shuffle and see where you are now and then where you are headed. So the first card will be where you are now and the second card will be where you are headed. So let's see, where are you now? You have following. And you have, for where you are headed, dispersing. Wow. After reflecting on these two cards and the changing lines between them, I am seeing that right now you're in a state of, I'm not sure what exactly it is, maybe your principles are firmly rooted right now, or where you are in a project, you are firmly rooted and committed to this project. However, you are slightly changing a few things around it. So you are still adaptable. You're still adapting to different situations. However, your core self, your core beliefs, or your core goal remains the same. But you're just adjusting around situations. And this is actually going to be very beneficial for you because where you are headed, so with dispersing, it's like the following card, but just more advanced, like more success comes from this slowly chipping or slowly changing or adapting around a situation that remains the same. So either you're accepting a situation that is remaining the same, or your core values and goals remain the same, while you allow some flexibility and change around it. So I think with following too, this may apply to some people. You are gaining some sort of following. I don't know if it's online or if it's people around you supporting your goals. And this is actually very beneficial. So you need to focus on those relationships and cultivate them. So you need to ensure that these people stick with you, because they may help you in the future with advice or expertise on something. So that's very beneficial for you. And it doesn't have to be a following. This could just be things are gaining momentum. And dispersing for your card of where you are headed, it's a card where small changes yield big results. So I'm seeing that where you are now, well, the small changes you're making now are going to be big changes later on. So they're going to be much bigger for you. So I'm just going to get some more oracle cards from the Moonology deck. We're going to get, once again, a card for where you are now and a card for where you are headed. So let's see. Where are you now? Step out of your comfort zone, North Node. Wow. And where you are headed. Where are you headed now? The energy is gaining momentum, waxing moon. So I think even though you are making small changes, and maybe you are even working slower than someone else, I think these changes it's very beneficial for you to work in this slow way. And because it's like you're entering territory that you're not familiar with. Like, this is something you haven't done before, and it's actually wise to keep this slow pace. And I think the changes, because you're moving slowly towards your goals, or slowly in your spiritual development, or whatever you inquired about, this is actually what's going to cause the changes to be more permanent. So whereas someone in a similar situation may have moved quicker than you, they may have not ended up in a more permanent situation. So I think for you, your present situation and the situation that you're moving towards is quite linked. They're quite similar. So I think you're going to be seeing more results though, and more successes in the situation that you're moving towards. So it's going to be similar to now. Like, you're not going to have too much changes in the way that you are working now, where you are making small changes. So you're not going to see a difference in your approach, but you're going to see a difference in rewards and things coming together. So things slowly changing shape to how you want them to be. So this is not going to be like a shocking change that is so sudden. This is going to be something that you've been working on for a while, and you're going to see it take shape in where you are headed. So I'm going to get some cards from the Shamanic Healing Oracle deck. So once again for where you are now, and then where you are headed. You have feminine energy. Interesting. And where you are headed. you have death. So yeah, this is really interesting. Definitely the way you are operating now is very good, very smart. If you needed that confirmation, like there it is. You are working very well right now towards your goals. Every effort you make doesn't seem big, but it is. And I'm definitely seeing right now with the feminine energy, you're in a state of you're just working slower than other people, which we know that isn't really true. Like everyone works at their own pace, and you working slowly is very beneficial for you. You are headed towards big changes actually, but it's interesting. They're going to be more permanent. I was just saying that it's not going to be a sudden change, but perhaps it will be a little bit sudden for you because you wouldn't realize that these small changes you're making are going to be noticeable. So it's going to be quite shocking how noticeable they are as time moves on. So yeah, you are in a state where you are respecting your energy levels. You are taking rest when you need to. This is all very beneficial for you. And your cards look very positive, actually. You're in a state of receiving. You're in a state of where you're not overworking yourself. You're letting yourself take rest. And this is so beneficial because maybe you are moving into territory, like I said, that you're not used to. So you have this goal that you are moving towards, but you're not sure how it's going to look in the end. And once it starts taking shape, you're going to feel like you've made so much progress and that things are changing more rapidly for you. So definitely things will gain momentum with this card. Waxing Moon. Definitely what it says. Things are going to start building up and one change is going to layer on top of the other and it's just going to move forward so quickly. So definitely you're going to experience something huge changing in your situation, actually. But it's going to be more steady and stable because of your approach. Your approach is very beneficial. So if you needed confirmation for that, definitely this reading is saying that what you are doing now is very beneficial and is going to help you a lot. So I will be getting out some tarot cards for additional messages and advice. So any confirmation and additional messages and advice for where you are now. So let's see, any additional messages, advice for where you are now. You have the King of Pentacles. Wow. And then you have the Moon card. Wow, that's very interesting. You would have these cards side by side. You are both productive, yet you're productive, yet you're not a workaholic. Definitely. Because you have the King of Pentacles, and I feel like any efforts that you are doing in your work right now are so beneficial. Very beneficial. Definitely. And the slow pace that you are working with is what's bringing you a lot of comfort in life. I'm seeing you as someone who's so, you're just grateful for what you have too. That's also another thing. And these two cards are actually reminding me of the Temple and the Riddle. So, I mean, the King of Pentacles could talk about, it talks about material possessions, so things like a house, a home. And then we have the temple, this enclosed space, this enclosed sacred space. And then you have the riddle. The riddle is like the moon card. It's this wild side, the moon is. It's the subconscious. And the riddle is this, maybe a question that appears confusing, but that you can only realize in a certain state what it means. And that's reminding me of the moon, this altered conscious state. So I think you have a very balanced personality and a very balanced approach to your work and to where you are right now. You are appreciative of the physical and what you have, and of the spiritual. So definitely, you're definitely very balanced. And if you are inquiring about your spiritual journey as well, wow, you already have this balanced personality that works very well for spiritual or intuitive work. So this doesn't have to be physical work. Just whatever situation you're inquiring about. And you're down to earth, you're connected, yet you're also very spiritual, or you understand the energies around situations. And this is very beneficial for you in knowing which path to take. And the path that you are on, where you're slowly adjusting, you're slowly making changes to where you are headed, that's you feeling your way through situations. And that's a really interesting and good skill that you have, actually. I'm going to get some more tarot cards once again, confirmation, advice, or anything like that of where you are headed. So let's see where you are headed. Any confirmation or advice to where you are headed in whichever situation you're inquiring about. So we have the Knight of Swords. And we have the Seven of Pentacles. So that's another interesting dynamic here. We have a very fast moving card with a very slow moving card. So I think, could this be pointing to your approach? Your slow approach will not change. However, life around you may seem like it's moving faster and perhaps even chaotically. So that's actually interesting with the dispersing card. The image of the waves crashing against each other. Yeah, this fluidity is actually what chips at stone, you know? So yeah, things around you will be changing quite a bit, but you'll still be focused on your goals, actually, for what's to come ahead. Yeah, definitely more rapid changes around you. So right now the water appears a bit still and there's not too much changes around you, but you are feeling, you are definitely getting a feel for the energy and knowing when to adjust and when to move. Definitely you are doing that right now. And where you're headed, just maybe you will remain the same, but life around you will move quite quickly. So definitely more movement around you and more changes, actually. Big changes, just not changes in the way that you approach things, or not too much changes in you working towards your goals. So not too much changes in your goals and the progress sort of in your goals. Like the progress in your goals might be slow changes, but I feel like the energy around you, there might be big changes coming up, actually. So, or just things around you appear to be moving faster. So I think that's all I'm getting for you, pile 2. I hope you enjoyed your reading, and I'm wishing you the best of luck in this situation. If you enjoyed your reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate the support. And if you'd like to book a personal reading with me, the link will be in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye! Hello, pile 3. Welcome to your reading. If you chose the gem card and the black tourmaline, this is your reading. Today's reading is about what are you moving towards right now? What are you transitioning into? What changes are coming up for you in the immediate future? So this reading will be looking at what you are leaving behind, what you are moving away from, and what are you moving towards? What will be entering into your life? So this is for anyone who wants to find out what lies ahead, what changes are coming up, and this could be where you are at as well right now in a project, your spiritual development, or just in your life, or whatever question you are inquiring about, whatever situation. So first I will be doing an energy checkup to see, I'll just say a few things about you to help you know if this is your reading. So you had the gem card and the thread. So I'll just put these aside. Okay, I'm definitely seeing that you are someone who is very unique. You are someone who stands out in your surroundings. Either you are different or you have different values to the surroundings that you are in or that you were raised in. There is something about you that stands out. And not only do you stand out, I think there is a theme of you maybe being strong enough to push through difficult situations and remain kind no matter what you've went through, or being yourself and expressing yourself no matter how you were treated by others in the past. So definitely it looks like you're someone who keeps true to themselves no matter what environment that they're in. And you might be the type, for example, to still have faith in people even if you were raised in a tough situation. You're someone who heals and shines their light even in difficult, negative situations. Or it could simply be that you just stand out, you're different to people around you because either they're all doing the same thing and you're doing something different. It could be something like that. So definitely you are a person who is very unique either way, whichever situation applies to you. So I think that's all for that quick energy reading. Now we'll be pulling out cards from the Visionary I Ching Oracle deck. So one card is going to be where you are at now, and the next card is going to be where you are headed. So what is going to be coming up for you in the near future. Let's see, pile 3. You have Revolution for where you are at now. And where you are headed. We have Receptive Power. Okay, I'm just going to take one moment to reflect on these cards and to read the changing lines for these two cards. Okay, pile 3, I just turned on this light. Forgot to do so before. But anyway, your reading looks like, I'm not sure if some of you are deciding on something or about to make a decision and you're wondering where this will go. Or some of you feel things brewing up in your social circles, drama, something like that, or in work or in a project. I think you are feeling a little bit of tension, just a little bit, and you are wondering if this will be a big thing in the future. And it does not look like anything will, like any big actions will come from this. So whether you're wondering if you should take some sort of action, the Revolution card is saying that taking action too soon may not be that wise. And I think that you are also deciding that in your mind. You're thinking whether you should take action in a situation or not. And it's saying that in the future with receptive power, there will be no actions taken actually in the immediate future. So I think right now you are wondering whether there's going to be tensions, or maybe you are wondering, I think for some of you, because you had these very unique cards or these indications of uniqueness, and then you have the Revolution card. So I think you're wondering if by telling someone something about yourself or something that makes you different, or you're wondering if this will have a negative impact. And with receptive power, I don't think things will be done about the situation that you are inquiring about. And in fact, whether this might be you not taking action or another person not taking action, it depends. It depends on your situation. But with receptive power, you or someone else is not going to be taking action. There's going to be not much movement. It's going to be slower and maybe even deciding not to move ahead. So I think I'll be getting out some more cards because this is very general stuff to begin. So I'm going to get cards from Moonology Oracle deck. And once again, one card for where you are now and one card for where you are headed. So let's see. You have a new start is coming, new moon. Yeah. I think that you feel things changing. You feel things like something new is coming up. So let's get a card for where you are headed. You have prosperity lies ahead, new moon in Taurus. Yeah, I am seeing that. Another possibility is you think that something might require more work than it needs. And what lies ahead is actually not much work. So a lot of rewards even, or rest. So maybe a big change you feel that is going to require a lot of effort, but it's actually going to be quite rewarding. And you are going to have a lot of time to rest and to not be overworked. So that's another possibility for you. So where you are right now is you feel things changing. You feel things brewing up, or maybe even some tensions in the environment around you. And what lies ahead is actually these tensions are not going to become a big thing. They're actually going to ease out, and you are not going to be expecting much work ahead, actually, much less than you think. So there is much less effort involved in what lies ahead. I will be getting out cards from Shamanic Healing Oracle deck, just for additional messages once again. Let's see where you are now. So let's get a card for where you are now. You have 36, grounding. And for where you are headed, you have duality. Here, how I'm interpreting these two cards is what's ahead with the duality card is something that will turn out okay in the end, once again. So right now, either you're intuitively feeling things stir, or you are feeling things stir from what you've observed. There is slight changes in people or something like that. And which, by the way, that's very interesting. You must be very observant. And with the grounding card, it does look like you are very observant and sensitive to your environment as well. Well, I mean, that's similar to the gem card. The gem card needs pressure and heat to create a gem. So like, that's your environment affecting you, I can see here. And I think what's coming up for you is definitely more relaxation and just not too much going on. So what's coming up for you may look like abundance, so money. It may look like self-care. It may look like things turning out okay in the end, or things that you thought were good or bad ended up just being neutral with the duality card. And definitely less work is coming up ahead for you, or something that feels like less work, just easier work, actually. So that's quite interesting reading. Definitely I can see why you came to this reading, because you are noticing changes and things brewing up. But actually with these future cards, I am seeing that they will ease out and just not end up being a huge change. So now I think I'm going to be getting some tarot cards just for additional information about where you are now and where you are headed once again. So we'll be getting out 2 cards for where you are now. So pile 3, where you are now. Any additional messages and advice? Any additional messages, clarification, or advice on where you are now? You have the High Priestess. Wow. And you have the Ten of Cups. Yeah, just for additional clarification, I feel that some of you may have been asking about family situations, family dynamics, and just your environment, who you live with, and so on. And another clarifying message is, yes, you are very intuitive, and you are very intuitively sensitive, or maybe some of you are actually inquiring about your spiritual development. And if so, you will be more at peace for what's headed for you. So I think spend some time, if there was advice from these cards, I think spend some time meditating and maybe even just connecting with people around you or feeling more connected to the universe. That's also good for if you're inquiring about a spiritual or your spiritual development, because your connections around you can help you feel more at peace. Definitely seeing that, and definitely seeing that you are highly sensitive to your environment as well, which perhaps is what makes you quite unique or what makes you stand out. So let's see now what is coming up for you. So any additional messages, advice, or clarification on what is coming up for you. You have the Knight of Pentacles. Definitely slow energy, rest. Definitely what I was seeing. Let's see what's coming up for you. What is ahead? What is coming up? We have Ace of Wands. Let me just get these cards situated a little bit more. Yeah, so what is coming up for you? I think slow and steady progress. I do see a small change, or maybe it's just a little bit of a change in direction coming up for you with the Ace of Wands. So I'm not sure if you're going to change your approach or something like that. But if I were to look at your reading in general, I am seeing someone with a lot of, I'm actually seeing someone with a lot of meditative and spiritual potential because of receptive power, and then the High Priestess here now. So I definitely feel like a lot of you are inquiring about your spiritual development. However, you could also be inquiring about your connection with others as well, or with your environment. So I am seeing a different direction or feeling more directed. That's coming up for you. So just feeling more like you are on a specific path, and just a clearer idea of where you are headed. And definitely this is something that is very slow paced, not too much work, not too hard on yourself. And with the Ace of Wands, although you may feel newly inspired and perhaps even just different inside, or some sort of changes inside you, your environment does seem, because I feel like a lot of you are inquiring about the environment around you, it does seem quite calm and very beneficial to this slow work and this self-care or anything like that you are stepping into that I mentioned in this video. So I think your environment really is going to become calmer and not so, maybe right now it feels a little bit more eventful. I'm not seeing anything too chaotic right now, definitely still feels relaxing. But in the future, yes, things will definitely calm down for you. Alright, that is all I'm seeing for you, pile 3. I'm wishing you the best of luck in this situation. If you enjoyed your reading, please like, comment, and subscribe. And if you would like to book a personal reading with me, the link will be in the description box below. And I'll see you in the next reading. Bye!